Today we have a power couple with us who are probably experts in the field of interior designing. And today we are going to talk about and explore field of design thinking, a bit of psychology, how technology shapes this field, and how as a couple they explore into these domains. I'd like to welcome Mr. MS Karthikeyan and Kalpana Karthikeyan. I'd like to hear a little bit about yourselves in what you're doing. Just keep it basic, like whatever you want to say. Talk about your experience, where you have started.
Hi, I'm Kalpana Karthikeyan. Basically, I'm an interior designer and we own a manufacturing unit for modular furniture, which is in Chennai, located in Chennai. And we are in this industry for more than 17 years now. So we are more into complete specialization of turnkey interiors and doing manufacturing as a whole.
Basically, understand what is turnkey.
Turnkey means we take up the entire job as an interior, wherein we just not only do the modular furniture part, we do the complete interiors for an in-house apartment or maybe commercial interiors, which is more into office and stuff. It starts from ceiling to floor. Anything which is relevant to ceiling to floor, we do everything. Like false ceiling, lighting, and flooring. When it comes to flooring, we do with concrete flooring, laminated floor, everything. And we are in this industry for more than 17 years now. So we are more into complete specialization of turnkey interiors and doing manufacturing as a whole.
Okay. Okay. Just to basically understand what is turnkey.
Turnkey means we take up the entire job as an interior, wherein we just not only do the modular furniture part, we do the complete interiors for an in-house apartment or maybe commercial interiors, which is more into office furnitures and stuff. It starts from ceiling to floor. Anything which is relevant to ceiling to floor, we do everything. Like false ceiling, lighting, and flooring. When it comes to flooring, we do with concrete flooring, laminated floor, everything.
Okay. So how, as a couple, I know that you both started and worked together as a couple. How do you handle creative differences when it comes to design or when people talk to you about it?
No, to start with, your question was interesting. Creative differences. Yes, differences are very creative. We cannot foresee the direction from where a challenge or a difference might crop in. It might come up from any side, and that's what is making our pair in this profession special as well. Day in and day out, there are differences in each and everything, right from administration to projects. But still, at the end of the day, what stands out is the common goal, the company, not the client.
Okay. Which is
the client, whatever the client output that we would like to give the client, that is held high, and that is of utmost importance. Rather than whether my suggestion or my viewpoint is ignored or taken, that is immaterial. But at the end of the day, the client wins.
So along the same lines, put you into a situation where you both are walking into a client's house, not knowing firsthand who they are. What will you try to understand from them even before design starts?
We look into the client's requirement first. It is like understanding who the client is. What is his personality? What is his way of lifestyle? That makes a big difference in our designing aspect. So that's one thing which we always have an interaction with him or her regularly. Understand what is their style of living in their own house, what kind of space they require, and what is their regular requirement when it comes to handling the furniture. So that makes our job much more easier, because space planning is all meant by understanding what client really wants as a whole for their living. That's it.
To add to what she said, our USP or our priority, topmost priority is to understand the client's requirement and to give what they want. So we don't mind spending extra hours discussing with the client on what they are now, what is their aspiration, and what they want the output they would like to have. So here we spend extra time. We don't mind spending more time, because this is where we get everything right. Things, if we get something wrong over at the end of the day, the client at the end or during the process will not be towing our line, or we will not be towing their line. The rest is process. This is creativity in asking questions, getting the answers, getting their mind, let the client talk. So literally, if you put everything on, we would like to live the dream of the client. So it might be a dream or it might be an aspiration of a client. At the end of the day, when we walk out, they should feel, okay, I got what they wanted, what I wanted. So that's the the funda that we work on.
Okay, yeah. Understood. So the final design that you mostly give, right? It's part of design thinking process. Sometimes it doesn't end up meeting the initial needs of the clients. There is some differences in the middle. Why do you think that these kind of differences happen between these two ends, and how do we tackle it generally?
It's what he said. Like if we don't understand the basics properly from the client, definitely there are chances that you may end up doing it wrong, or maybe it doesn't come to the satisfaction of the client. So it's always better to have initial information from them at the very beginning, understand what is the real requirement, and then work it out accordingly.
Okay, so will it be like an iterative process?
Yeah, it is definitely yes, because we start on day one, and it's not that we are going to finalize everything on the same day. It's a process. It might take a lot of interactions with the client, and it might take a little bit of time. So probably what the interesting cases are, like we have found out where we discuss, finalize on one particular design, that suddenly somebody else will come and give a better suggestion to the client. The client again comes back to us. They say, okay, no, we don't want this. We would like to, it would be better if you have like this, the other way around, something like that. There are lots of avenues that are available now with the internet and with the other technical advancements. More input. That is where our discussion, this time that we spend discussing with the client, holds good for us. As I said, at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win situation. We deliver what the client wants. Both of us accept and get it done.
Yeah. We are human beings. We are all emotional. But as you said, like we need to meet technical specifications to meet the needs of the clients. So there might be scenarios where you did an excellent job with like a very good technical design, but has emotion told you otherwise?
Yes, for sure. Because see, ultimately it all depends. Like the space is better utilized for whatever design we have done. Having an expertise on this, we definitely educate the client the way it has to be initially. So that is where we just take an extra time, as he said. But there are chances that client may come out with their own requirement with a specification and accordingly. But we do, before we just say that, okay, yes, for them, if we just try to educate, if this is going to happen, it may be like this, later stages. You may not be comfortable. You may have some functional difficulties in handling the furniture or product which we design. So there are majority clients agree upon. Because we as a professional make a big difference in educating the client.
Okay. You have any say to it?
No, it's the same. Like situations might come up as and when we talk to the client. The goal is and already there. We want to deliver this to the client, but sometimes the client would already have something in mind, but it may not be feasible. And it is only our experience and expertise, technical expertise, share that knowledge share to the with the client, that will help them to understand, okay, this may not be the best thing that is suitable for them. Support this with an example. We had an interesting client, so who came up with a kitchen design from internet. That was probably an European style of a kitchen. So it was very impressive. The kitchen was very impressive, and so the design is everything done because they're already fine with the design. All that they wanted to do is like get the costing from us, get the timeline finalized, and then do the job. But instead, when we started discussing with them, it was totally the other way. So it was totally on the opposite ends. The client, the way, the lifestyle, and the way they do, the people who handle the kitchen, and who are they? So, and when you consider that and the model of the kitchen that is already designed, that is already given, totally is going to be a mismatch. It's not going to stay there for long. That's what we understood. And though we gave them what they wanted, like we gave them a proposal, like the costing from our side and the timeline, but still we went ahead and proactively asked them if we can offer any suggestions. for which they were okay.
This was still on paper and on the design level.
Yeah, they were actually clear with the design. They gave us a design view, they wanted that. So we gave them the quotation, but then we said, okay, while discussing, we understood people who were going to handle the kitchen, whether it is just the homemaker or the cook or anybody else, and what is the type of cooking over there, whether they are going to be a light on their cooking or heavy on the cooking, all these kind of questions that we threw up to them, and the answers we got back made us clear that it's not going to be a workable design for them. So when we communicated that to them and they understood, and then it was totally the other way. They asked us to submit a design. We submitted design, and then we installed the kitchen as well. And the best part is we are now their go-to person when it comes to design in any form, whether it is a residence, whether it is office or anything. So
I think this goes back into the question that I spoke about very initially of handling creative differences. But what I asked was within you as a couple, but this is more outwards towards a client. In both ways, I think this kind of works. Let's tackle it in a slightly tangential way. So if you think of interior designing and design thinking in a software perspective, what are the common bugs that you find interior design space that you are in?
It's again to do with space management, because as I said, it all depends upon how it is designed. Aesthetically, you can improvise the space the way it is, as per the size of the room or the layout which we are planning for. But ultimately, when it comes to usage of the client who's going to really occupy the space, it matters a lot where you have managed the space properly. Like, do you have a passage space for a person to move around? Do you have enough light coming from a window towards the area where they just adapt more into leisure time? So this makes a big difference. I've seen in many places where we just see it is totally a different way of handling things. We cannot comment, but definitely we make it a point that is a learning for us.
Yeah.
So we make it a point that next time when we just look into different aspects of designing a space, we always keep the main principles of in designing and try to incorporate it in our clients' requirements.
Like if it's like other people's bugs, flaws, or even ours, it's the flaws and bugs that we'll try to update ourselves, which will be the learning process.
basically, that again is an opportunity.
It's an opportunity for us to show better.
Whatever is there, and what we can do is what we are. That is why we are there. So we look that as an opportunity, and if it is really that can be corrected and come up, we come and it can be replaced or modified with a better suggestion. We definitely take that challenge and try to execute that.
So you see that technology is like rapidly developing everywhere, and we can literally apply automation on anything nowadays. But where do you draw the line of where you apply automation within the interior designing space?
Automation is very and welcome addition to value addition to especially the design field. The only thing is we have to keep pace with that. That is the challenge that we face. But otherwise, it's going to be a boon for whoever is, whether it is a designer, a CAD designer, or an interior designer, or a person who is going to give the 3D views. It's going to be of tremendous help to the industry as such at a large scale.
As part of your design cycle, do you consider people's psychology when you're designing in itself? So subtly improving how they stay calm, improving better connections with family members. Do you include that as part of your design?
Maybe in interior designing we do. But when it comes to the manufacturing of modules, there is no such concept of bringing in the psychology in designing that. But okay, we just do the ergonomic way of handling things. That is one thing which we normally do when it comes to designing. But otherwise, I don't think so. We can think on this
Design and manufacturing we'll have to see separately. When we design, definitely yes, psychology plays a major role when we design. Say for example, if it is a family and we cannot design to one member of the family, it's a family.
Yeah.
So we'll have to consider the collective requirements of the family. If it is a kids room, we'll have to take into the account the kids, whether it is a
So it's things like color theory.
mood. So we create an ambience, like, so the moment somebody walks in, whether what kind of person he or she is, accordingly, this is where the discussion that we have with the client initially and the long hours that we spend with the client holds us good. So it gives us lots of options and avenues where we can really showcase our expertise, and to make sure that, as I said, what the client wants, that we are able to deliver. That is great. That is on the design side. But when it comes to manufacturing, yes, we cannot be that creative because this is all process. This is okay. This is step 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe if the design and the finishes we can be creative on that, but not whatever the process is already set. Because it's all machine, and the machine does the way only it knows. So there it cannot be. There is very little room for being creative.
I was mostly targeting towards design and decoration.
Yeah.
Was there many clients with such requests? Because clients don't inherently request that, right?
Psychological.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because see, there are guys, there are clients who really look into the color combination of a room also. It all depends upon what kind of mood they are into. Like, for example, artist. If I'm going to design a space for an artist, there are something which is more of colors, which makes a big difference in their lifestyle and their profession. So we have to keep that in mind when we design a space. A doctor. So doctor definitely, when he comes back retiring from his job for the day, he needs some space where he really needs to calm down and just get complete stress free. So in that case, we can now think about having a banging color on the wall or something like that, where he's going to retire for the day. So we make it a point that we keep those things in mind and see what is the profession they are handling, and accordingly try to give them solutions on colors or kind of the lighting which they need for their particular room, and even plants which we indoor plants which we use for their spaces. So that makes a big difference in understanding the mental handling of each client, and then accordingly do it.
Yeah, factoring in their tastes, where they come from, and
Sure.
So in the future, do you see that interior spaces will be dynamic, and say lightings would change, furnitures would move based on how people react, more like a living organism? So this is where robotics might factor into interior designing. But it's just an open question that I had in my mind. I wanted to ask you, who are experts in the field, do you think such things could happen?
Robotics,
like sensor is part of a robot, and sensors are widely used in interior spaces nowadays.
We actually, being a manufacturer, robots and robotics would definitely play a role in the manufacturing setup. But in being creative, maybe on the design front, AI definitely would be of great support, and it is interesting. But as you said, it's going to be dynamic. The future is being dynamic, smart. That's what interiors design is going to be in the coming days.
Because there are lots of smart home automations.
Yeah,
so
smart home
automatic lights being on and off.
Even now, in all our wardrobes, the moment, this is the basic level that I'm talking about. So the moment you open your wardrobe shutter, the light switches on by itself. This is all basic. We have it. We have been doing this for years now. So, but the next level is going to be something different, where, as you said, whether with the touch of a button or a voice, things are going to happen. Home automation is already taken, has its place in interiors nowadays. But now getting into whether you want to see something moving or something,
so it's almost like
robotics. I'm interested. We are also keen to know how robots or robotics.
So I've been thinking about this a lot. So imagine you walking into your house, being very tired. Suddenly, music starts playing, not without a prompt, not saying that play this music at 6 p.m. Automatically, there are cameras pointing at you, analyzing your mood, and there is a soothing music playing around just for you. And what happens is like you have a moving furniture which immediately brings you the thing that you like. Say for example, if you like coffee, there is this moving furniture automatically coming to you and then serving you coffee, which all can be done. Like it can be done very discreetly based on each functions nowadays. But when you combine this as a holistic representation of an interior space, this can very well be done. But it's just a glimpse that I am thinking, like if it's a thought that veterans like you in this field have thought about and how you can scale in the near future. Just want to ask like people, lots of people like you, and if people have thought about this, that's the intention behind this question. But having said that, like what kind of advice would you give to young designers in this field if they were to design a house, not for people of this generation, but for people of 10 years from now? What kind of design principles, what should they do, what shouldn't they do, what is the core that they should carry?
See, basically, whatever it is, client's perspective, client's needs have to be met. Whether it is futuristic or right now or 10 years down the line, if you understand what the client wants, then it is all up to you how we are going to get it done.
Yeah.
The process and the output, if I want this way, probably I can, with my expertise, I can say, okay, you can have this way as well. So at the end of the day, client satisfaction is that is what a designer has, or for that matter, anybody has to do. But how they do is with the advent of technology and the other advancements, that might change.
Yeah.
But holding client on the first thing, that is topmost priority.
Yeah.
No backing on that. That would be our advice, our suggestion from what we.
I particularly know that you are planning to, and you have been intending to do this for a long time, for creating a space where people can collaborate in terms of design, and for youngsters to actually pitch in, use your facility. Do you want to touch a little bit on that?
Yes, for sure. Actually, I do have this program in mind wherein it's going to be more for a freshers who's an interior designer and architect. I'm just trying to welcome them for hand-holding them for their future experience and careers, wherein they just come in, trying to understand the design aspect, basics of designs properly, the manufacturing unit which we hold. So they get an experience on practical experience of designing, interacting with high-profile clients. So the interaction is more about understanding their aspect of design. And
so you'd be giving them like real live projects that you would be handling,
yes,
and then
whatever projects we are handling, we'll be just hand-holding them to be with us, understand the detailing about how we work on the site, on the manufacturing side, and then on the design part as well. So this makes them well equipped with the idea of interior design, manufacturing, and then the site handling. So this will make them understand things in a better way. By end of a year, they will be well equipped to handle the client on their own and build a career based on whatever their ideas are about setting up a firm or setting up, having a team of their own to do it.
Yeah, tackle such problems. Basically giving them an entire end-to-end trivia of how things would work, but with live hand experience.
Yeah, basically, this thought is like just to give back to the industry that we are in now. So the way that we thought would like to be is interior designers and architects when they graduate and they leave the college, they have got enough theoretical experience. But to back up the theoretical experience and to directly come and work on a field is going to be different. So for them, rather than going and straight away jumping into the ocean, that is not everybody will be comfortable. So we thought we can be a media, via media, wherein they come, sit with us, understand the nuances, be it creative designing or manufacturing or handling the client. It's going to be a 360-degree experience for them.
Okay.
So which not the theory won't have taught them. But this one client, if they interact with one client, they will get so many questions answered. So that is in a way from us to give back to the
community.
industry.
So who would this be? Would they be fresh graduates?
Yeah, maybe a 1 or 2 years experience also.
Even
that is
for them,
allowed.
yeah.
And that's also good one to start with.
Okay.
Freshers for sure, because people who are really willing to set a career in interior designing and architecture.
It's a good exposure for them to start. Okay. That's all for now. I think very good interacting with two veterans in the field of interior designing and very good manufacturing facility that I have toured. We'll shake on that.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the
Thanks a lot.
conversation.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.